That's it. And now we can go back to our current lesson. So today we will talk about, guys, about the about 2D lists, dictionaries, and sets. And let's just start. If you have any questions, guys, please ask them. If no, we can just go and start from the learning new stuff. No? Okay. I'll create, again, everything the same. So you probably already know our plan. We create a new week, 005. And let's today change a little bit. So let's today use the Visual Studio Code. I don't know. I have this type of mood where I want to use Visual Studio Code. Yeah, I have this like a pilot stuff. Okay. Anyway, so let's see how the new AI technologies help us to write the code. Let's think in the way that I don't know about two-dimensional lists. Okay, I'll create a file. I'll call it like 2dlist.py. I will zoom it that you can see everything. And we want to create a list, but basically, so I will let's start from the idea about list. So we already know that if we create a list, for example, we can put here just any type of, you see, it's like very annoying. Okay, so yeah, we can put any type of elements inside of the list, right? It could be A, B, C, and you can think about it as a way that that we assign something to A, B. Yeah, you see, right? It's like doing everything for me. So it can be list itself. Before we saw that we were like putting inside of the list some numbers, etc., like strings. But in general, you can put another list inside of the list. And this is the idea of two-dimensional list. Yeah, let's just print it and let's just execute the program. And you can see, so this is our list. And first element of our list is list 1, 2, 3, which is A. The second one is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? Very simple. And now also, so what we can do, we can access individual elements. Also, you can, for example, use the iterations and print, for example, each row. I will call it rows because I think in this way, so that each element here, it's now a row. But you can think as you want. But in case if I think that it's a row, I can represent it in this way, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, not in the single line, but each element, this is the element A, this is the element B, starts from the new line. And it's like a nice representation. And you can now start think about two-dimensional list as a matrix. And basically now you can, for example, store gene expression data in a way where you use two-dimensional list. Okay, and then for example, you can access individual elements. Yeah, you see, so it's like doing my job pretty well. We can access element in the second row, third column, because we know that first row it's index 0, and the index 1 it's element B, and 2 it's last element inside of the B. I have a visualization for that. So here is how it looks like. So yeah, this is our first element. Probably I should redo it a little bit, but yeah, so this is the first element in the list, this is the second element in the list, this is the third. In our case, it's like A, B, C. And for A, B, C, we have, so 0 corresponds to A, 1 corresponds to B, and C corresponds to 2. And then inside of the each element, we have values themselves. 1, 2, 3, and for each element inside of the list we have also indexing available because they are lists. So for example 0, 1, 2. And now because of that we can use indexing and access individual elements. So for example print L00, and let's put it in this way. You can see, so if we use L00, it's the first element here. Basically the row index is 0 and column index is 0. Because of that we got 1. And then we have 1, which means like the second row, and 2 means the third element inside of the list. Guys, is it clear? Please say something. If it's unclear, definitely say. I will wait 1 minute, guys. If you think that it's unclear, you have 1 minute to say something. You know, guys, it's like this uncomfortable silence when you just don't know what to say.
It's clear.
It's clear.
Okay, nice, guys. But in case if someone thinks that it's unclear, now you know whom you can ask. So you can just like text the guys who said that it's clear. Yeah. This is about two-dimensional list. But now let's create a two-dimensional list in the way that we are not specifying everything manually. And for this, we will do the following thing. So we will specify number of rows, number of columns. So I want to do it in this way. So let's say that we have 5, 7. So we will have 5 rows and 7 columns. Let's check it. So it's like produces me all this type of things. And let's run it. Okay, so here we have like in each element we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 elements, just to double check. And we have in general 1, so it's like a first row, second row, third row, fourth row, and fifth row. We have 5 rows, 7 columns. So basically it works as it's supposed to work. And now I just want to print it a little bit in a more nicer way. So this is a list. And this was like the way how we can create it by using the list comprehensions. And you should be careful with list comprehensions because sometimes you can think that you created a new objects. But yeah, so probably it's better to show the example for you. In this case, let's just like, for example, I can access L00 and set that this is 1. And then again, print, I'll just zoom out a little bit. It's like I want to print it one more time. So here you can see that we whoa. Yeah, that's crazy. So we created a two-dimensional list and then we changed the first element. And it works as we expect. So we changed just the first one, not anything other is like touched. But for example, sometimes you can think that you can create a list in like another way. So let's say that we create list in the way that we use 0 multiplied by m and then multiplied by n. I think that something like that. Yeah. So let's run it and you can see, so this is another way how we created it. But there is a problem when we use this type of syntax without the loop inside. What we have done, we created once the list and then we refer to the same list 5 times. So you should just like keep it in mind that if you want like to create a proper two-dimensional list where each row its individual element, then you should use this type of syntax. This is just as a placeholder. You can put whatever you want. Why it's like underscore? Because we don't refer to it anywhere inside of our values. You can put I in the same way, and it will work correctly. So this is how it looks with I. You can, for example, use I as a value instead of 0, and now you have so basically we created a list where there is like 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 2 2 2 3 3 3 4 4 4. Yeah. And now let's try to resolve the task. But for that I will skip. I will go back because it will like resolve everything for me right away. Let's create a find max in 2D list. .py. So this is our program, and let's try to write now code ourselves. So it will be very hard for me, but let's do it. I will use not two. I will use one external package which is called random. And what I want to do here is just like to generate random numbers. So for example, random will produce me a number from 0 to 1, random number. So I just want to use this function from the module random. We will work with modules packages a little bit later, but this is just as an idea. We can import different modules, and Python has some default modules that we can access. To do that, we need like to write import random, specify the name of the module. In this case, the module or package name is random, and there are a lot of functions which allow us to, for example, generate random sequences, random like choice random elements from the list, or etc. I think that you probably know about that, since you said that in R you're like working with statistics. Yeah, and I just want to generate random numbers. And now let's create a list. I'll call it E, and I want to create a list of random values. Let's say that N and M is 5, 6. So we have like a matrix with 5 rows, 6 columns. And now inside of the list comprehension, I want to generate random values from 0 to 1. I will use the following syntax first: random multiplied by 100. This one I need to multiply by m for e in range of n. And let's just check that it works as it's supposed to work. So for row in e, print e. So yeah, we created a list. You can see like two-dimensional list, and there are like values. Let's just adjust it a little bit. You can see that there are like a lot of trailing values in the float part of the number. I don't need them. Let's just put round. And I want to round this value up to one float value. So let's run it. And here our... okay. There was some problem. And now we have our list. And you can see so that it's not ideal. I want to do it for j in range of m. And this one I need to remove. Okay, now we created a two-dimensional list with random values. And now the task for you can copy-paste, reproduce this part of the code in your own editors. And now the idea is that we want like to identify the maximum value inside of the list. So you have, guys, like, I don't know, 5-7 minutes to do that. Let's just try to find the solution. And I'll wait. So guys, how it's going on? Okay, okay. But guys, who has problems? Please, I need a person who doesn't know how to resolve it, or maybe like tries and it doesn't work. Guys, is there like someone who struggling? I just want like to struggle with you. Or you just want to have a little bit more time. If so, just let me know. Okay, guys, then who solved the task? Can you just like, I don't know, raise your hand or something? So no one. Okay, we have one person. One person resolved. Yeah. Respect for sure. And other people like still working. But let's try to work them together. So guys, what is the main idea about like if you I mean like in general how you approach tasks in general? Do you have any like things that you keep in mind that you're like, okay, I need like to do something like that and then maybe I will resolve it? Some techniques that you're using. Please share it with me. No?
To find the maximum value in each row and
Okay.
then append it all to a list and find the maximum value in the list.
For example, yeah, for example. Sounds legit. Sounds legit. Uh, but I was like more probably about conceptually in general. Like for example, you're like faced with some task in your life. I don't know. Let's say that you need like to let's say that you want to buy a car. This is a task. And usually people trying to, okay, I need like to split it into some small pieces and solve some small pieces, and then at the end, by solving small pieces, you will solve the biggest one. So for example, you can say, okay, for today, I want just like to find different websites where I can just start looking at cars. You're like, okay, this is the first task. You went like found different websites. Then you're like, okay, now I want to start looking on the cars in particular range, price range. You're like, okay, this is the second task for the next day. You're like, now I'll find all different options. You found them, and now you're like, okay, I want to narrow down it to the cars which are red. I want the red car. You're like, okay, and step by step, right? We are like trying to split it into small pieces. Let's do the same way with this program that we have here. Let's split it in the following way. So this is our list, we have it, but let's first solve the smallest part of it, probably the smallest. It's like max between two values. Let's say that we have A and B. And I want to identify max value. Okay, guys, how can I do it? Here. Yeah. So what should we use in your mind? Some part of Python syntax we can use to identify the maximum value. So for example, you can write whatever you want. So we want to have max value as a to store the maximum value. Guys, please don't be shy. Don't worry. So we are like just we here, right? We are here to just like try whatever like comes to your mind. Just try to say it, and that's fine. No one gonna blame you. No one gonna like bully you. I mean, I promise, I will not, right? And if other people do this, you're like just okay. You're super toxic. And
For
that's it.
example, we can use max function.
Okay, we can use math function. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Import math, right? Something like that.
Max.
Max function. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, we can use max function, which is a built-in function. Okay, that's true. We can write max value is max of a and b, right? Yeah, let's check it. So, for example, -1 and 10. And now we can print max value. Let's run it. And we got that it's 10. Yeah, so this is a built-in function. You just need to know about it. But if you don't know it, then you can come up with your own solution. Let's do it now with our own solution. How can we, for example, check? If we want to check something, what we usually
We can use conditional statement.
Conditional statement, right. This is what I was waiting for, guys. Nice. So we can use conditional statement, and how it looks, we write if a is greater than b, then max value is
A.
Nice. Yeah, and then else max value is b. And we should specify a and b, so a, b in the same way, -1 and 10. I will remove this part. And let's now just execute the program. And it works in the same way. Yeah. It's like, it took longer. It took us like 1, 2, 3, 4 lines to resolve it. But anyway, so we just did it. And we used some of the things that we saw before. This was like the first part. We identified maximum between two values. But now let's identify max in a list. So let's say that we have list now. 1 -1 0 100 50 -10, something like that. And now we need like to identify maximum value here. So let's say that we have maximum value. We can use something like that, I believe. It's like float, like minus float. I don't remember exactly. So minus float of infinity, right? Infinity. Let's just check that I remember syntax properly. Yeah, so it works. Basically, it's like minus infinity, right? The value. It's like from math. There is a real numbers, and you have infinity on the right side and minus infinity on the right. I hope that it's right. Yeah, and basically why we just assigned it this value, we want like to create a variable, and then we will compare this variable with all different values inside of the list, and we will identify maximum value. In general, you can set it up as a first element inside of the list. It will work pretty much in the same way. But sometimes you want like to have it to return this value in case if there is like some weird values in the list. Okay, guys, I want to identify max value, so it should be 100. What should I write? We have like small piece of the solution. We know how to compare two values, but now we have list of values. So guys, okay. I need like incorrect solution. Someone please give me incorrect solution. Or maybe correct, doesn't matter. I just want to make you feel yourself comfortable and don't be worried about anything. You know, like you're just like sitting here, chilling, trying to find maximum. And this is an important task, to be honest, guys. You can think about it as it's like, oh, it's like Why I should like bother myself with finding maximum value in the list? But let's say that you have a list of something important, and you need to identify the maximum value in it. Let's say that your list is like some things in your life that you like the most, and you need like to identify what is the most important part in your life.
We can apply again max method to lists.
Okay, we can try. Let's do it. Let's do it. Max value is max of L. And then print max value. Let's run it. And it works. It works perfectly. Yeah, nice. Now, can we try to do it without the max function?
We can use a loop.
Loop, right? We
And
can
go
use a
through the
loop.
elements. And then reassign if the element is greater than the previous
Okay, let's do it.
element.
So for element in list, as you said, right? And now we want like to write, so max value is equal, I will use like ternary if else statement. So max value is max value if max value is greater than element, else it will be element. And then we will just, I want just like to remove this part. Let's just print max value. And again, it's 100, so we again solved it, right? Let's just... yeah, so it works. And now the last part, we just need to do it for two-dimensional list. How to do it, guys? I'll just remove this part. I hope that you don't mind. In the same way, so we want like to find max value, and it's a minus float of this value. And yeah, so we know how to go through each row, and also now we know how to find max value inside of the list, right? We just need to combine all together and we will find the solution.
We can iterate through rows and then inside each row iterate through columns, like we
for...
did in the previous.
Yeah. So something like that, right?
Yes.
And then do exactly the same what we were doing, right? Max value is equal max value if max value is greater than element, else element.
No, we need to iterate through like in row, and then for for element 2 in row, and then we can do what we did the last time.
Okay. So you mean you want like to identify like as a list in the same way as you said like first time, right? You want to identify list of max values, right? And then find maximum among all of these max values. Did I get it right? No? Okay. Basically, so let's just check this one. But this is like pretty much the same as you said. So we are going through each row in our two-dimensional list. Basically, we take the first list, second list, and then for each element inside of the first list, we will find the maximum value of the first row. Then we will go to the second row, but we still remember what was the maximum value in the first row. In the second row, we will do the same, and pretty much it's supposed to be the correct value. So, and we found that the maximum value in the list is 95.2. And if we take a look on our two-dimensional list, so first of all, we should find the value, it's like here. And also, if we did it correctly, there should not be any value which is like larger than 95.2, which looks pretty much correct to me. Right, guys? Guys, please, I don't know what kind of words I should find in this world to make you more relaxed. Please.
Yes, it looks legitimate.
Nice, cool. Yeah, guys, please. So we are just like you came here, right? Like to get some knowledge, and don't be shy about that. You can like make a mistake, because all we are doing mistakes all the time, and that's fine. This is like we just need to make them and then try to avoid making them. But even in this case, it's not always the right like thing. Okay, let's just go back to the material. And here, so basically, in general, usually I'm asking to implement the matrix multiplication for two-dimensional lists, but I don't know. So do you feel yourself comfortable? Let's just skip it. We'll just check the answer. But in general, so do you think yourself comfortable with the matrix multiplication? No?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, but do you think is it like important for bioinformatics, matrix multiplication, in your mind?
Yeah, of course, because bioinformatics data are often multidimensional.
Yep. So it's indeed very important in my mind because, for example, you definitely saw the principal component analysis, right? You were using, for example, Fantasus, and then you can just click a button and it's going to perform you the principal component analysis. But the idea is that the result of principal component analysis, it's a multiplication of two metrics. And then there is idea or like the meaning behind each matrix. So basically, it's not just like some product of two matrices. It's more about what each matrix defines. And in general, it's like very important in my mind to understand about the matrix multiplications because it's more as a transformation in the space. And for example, when you have a gene expression matrix, it's it's like multi-dimensional space. And then when you do all this type of fancy dimensionality reductions, or if you apply some operators over the matrix, it's always, not always, but in most cases, it looks like as a product of some matrices. Let's just skip it. You can take a look. I'll send just like a link for you about matrix multiplication. To be honest, I always wanted to cover it myself, but I failed already like 3 years and I still didn't finish. So you can see that there is an off topic and there is a matrix multiplication section. I was always like thinking about how should I put it down in a way that it's like very related to the bioinformatics with some like nice example, but still haven't found time to do it. But maybe one day I'll produce it. So let's check the dictionaries. This is another data type in Python, very similar in some way to lists, but now we will have not indexes but the names for the elements. We can like say that there is a name for particular element. So let's create a new file. I'll call it dict example.py. Here is our dictionary. This is how it looks like. So basically, to create a dictionary, we need like to open curly brackets or braces and then specify values inside of the dictionary. And if you be honest, you don't need like to put new lines here. Let's just I just want to show you that this is the same as you write something like that. So this is a the same list, but you see already outdated information. Outdated. Let's run it, and you can see, so this is a list that we created. This is just a syntax how to create a list. And what, not a list, dictionary. And the idea is in dictionary that we have always the pair, like a key and value. In our case, key is this string, for example, name, and then this one also, it's a key. And there are keys inside of the dictionary. And for each key, we have some value. Now, if you want to access particular some particular value by the key, you can write, so for example, print person and open square braces and specify the key that you want to access. Let's say that we want to access name as a key. You can run it, and you see that we got the value which is mapped to this name. So basically, dictionary is like a pairs. You have key value pair always, and this is a syntax how to specify the dictionary, and then this is a, for example, how can we access particular value in the list, in the dictionary. Sorry. In the same way, you can get the date of birth, and it works. So as you can see, instead of the index, we have the key inside of the same style of the braces. Okay? Yeah, and so there is an important thing that the keys should be immutable objects. You cannot use as a key some mutable object. Yeah, so for example, lists are not allowed. Let's just try to run it. Yeah, you can see so that my editor right away says that dictionary key must be hashable and list is not hashable. And I got the error. But in case if you put here tuple, should work without problem. So this is an important thing about that keys are should be immutable objects. Yeah, then we can access the element of a dict by using this syntax. We saw this. Yeah, also there is important thing that in Python dictionaries, especially depending on the Python version, there is no guaranteed order of the keys. But starting from Python 3.7, there is like they preserve the order which was used when the values were added to the dictionary. So you can just keep it in mind. Yeah, we can modify elements. So by using the same syntax, in some way similar syntax as we did with the lists, you can access to particular element by using the indexing/naming. And let's just check how it works. And this one I want just to comment. Yeah, and you can see, so in the beginning the name was Vladimir, but then we changed it to the Vlad. We can add new element to the dictionary. So, for example, we can add interests of the person. To do this, we just need to specify a new key. So this is a new key which was not specified in the dictionary before, and then we can put, for example, as a list, what are the interests of the person. In this case, so they are like photography and chess. Let's run it, and we got a new key value pair to our list. Yeah, now we can iterate through a dictionary, and there are like different ways how you can iterate. So this is an example how we can iterate through the keys. So yeah, basically the syntax is, if we write for k in person, by default Python will provide us all keys in the person, and we will go over each of them. So and here we just print that what is the current key and what is the value for this key. You can see that the current key is name, and the name corresponds to Vlad. Then date of birth, there is a date of birth. Then also there is the age, and this is the age, and interests. But also you can use, for example, you can go over just values. In this case, you need to use a method which is called values, and you will go over just through the values. You will skip keys part. Also, you can go through the pairs of key values. In this case, you go over through the key and value. So items, method items produce you iterable objects where you can go over through the items. Let's just print it. I want to remove this part. And even this part I want to remove too. So I want just to print person dot elements or items. And you can see so that this is a particular data structure. So items return does the list, kind of list of the tuples. We have name Vladimir and so on. And if you write, for example, just there is an idea about unpacking and packing. If you write, for example, key v is name and Vladimir, let's just print key and then print v. So as you can see, if we write k and v equal to tuple, by default we unpack the values inside of the tuple and we assign name to k and Vladimir to v. And because of that, when we print them, we got these values. And in the same way, when we go over through each element inside of the items, by kv we will assign name, Vladimir, and so on. And basically this is the way how you can go over at the same time through the key and value. Yeah, as you can see, so name Vladimir, date of birth, and age. Okay. Yeah, now also you can check that the key exists in a dictionary by using the in operator, in the same way as you could use it with lists or tuples. We check that if name in the dictionary. I'll also just copy paste it. Let's remove this part and let's just run it. So as you can see, the true means that the name is a key which present in the keys of person, but country not, because we don't have a country specified in the list. Yeah, also there is a very nice way to use dictionary comprehensions to create dictionaries. Let's use this example. So here we used this dictionary comprehension. We specify the key, then we put column, and then we used what we want to have as a value. And in this case, we are using the built-in function chr, which will convert some integer number to the character. And here we just created a dictionary of all letters in the Latin alphabet. And now we can, for example, print letters 0. And you can see, so in this way, since we assigned as a key like numbers which starts from 0, we can use it in the same way as we used with lists. So 0 corresponds to the first key, and the value is a. Okay. Okay, guys, let's try to solve the task again. So you have again time, guys, please, and let's just don't worry about anything. So our task is like, we have the string And now we want like to identify the frequency of all unique elements separated by white spaces. I'll just show you the example. Let's say that we have a dictionary. Oh, not dictionary, but you can use dictionary. So let's say that we have a string S, and here our values A, B, A, C, and then E, A. And we want to get the dictionary, which is like A is in this case 1, 2, 3, 4. B is 1, 2. C is 1. And E is 1. So okay, this is a task that we want to solve. And guys, you have 5 minutes. If it's not enough, if you just feel that you're like almost there, you almost finished, you just need like a little bit more, you can say it. Don't worry. Okay, guys, let's start.
Maybe if you copy this first line of code into Telegram chat, it will be easier for others to test.
Right. Let's do it. Oops. Oh, it's not.
Sorry, I'm afraid I have misunderstood the task. Our task is to create a dictionary or what?
Yeah, so we want like we have a string. In this case, I sent to the Telegram. So for example, if we have a string, we want to identify the frequency of each unique element in the string separated by white space. So in this case, we see that there is a it's like first element. Then we want to count the frequency and how many times it's like appears in the string. Since we saying that we want like to separate, like to count by the white space. So there is a first A, second, third, and fourth. And because of that, we have that this element appears 4 times. Then for B, we have that B appears 2 times. Yeah, and basically this is a list that we want to create, identify frequencies of which unique element in the string, in case if we separate it by white space. So guys, how it's going on? Perfect, right? So who has problems? No one. So okay, guys, who want to tell us how you solve the task?
I can send it in the chat.
Let's do it. So okay, let's go over the solutions that we got. So this is a solution. We create an empty dictionary first by using this syntax, right? Then for token and in S split, basically what we do, we split our list by the white space, and then we do the following thing. So it's like frequency of this token is equal to frequency get token 0. So what does it mean?
We choose this token and choose index of
So let's check it. Let's just also print it, because I don't know. I'm not sure that I'm very often use it. So yeah. So let's run it, and basically what it gives us 0, then 0, 1, 1. Yeah, 2, 0, 0, 3. Okay, but it works. It works. We have some other solution. One more. Yeah, but I'm just like, why I asked, so I'm not like very familiar with get. Sometimes I don't like remember all these methods. Yeah. Also another one. Let's check another one. So here we have as list. We split our string, then as list unique sorted list set. So what is happening here? We convert list to set. Set is in the same way as in math, where each element is unique. When you do set of list, we will keep only unique elements, since as list is a B, A, B, A, C, E, A. We will just have A, B, C, E, and also we sort them. And then we have our solution dictionary, and for in range length else as list unique. So we go through each element in our unique elements. We just create a dictionary which filled with zeros, and then for each of them we go through the list, original one, and we update our values, right? Nice. Also we got another one. Wow, guys, there are like a lot of solutions. Guys, respect. We are like working as I don't know, like as a crazy people. Okay, let's check one more. So here we do result is dictionary. Then we split our string, and for I in letters, basically we go through each letter that we have in the list, and then we just count it. We use count method of the list. We count it and right away assign a new key value pair to our list. Then print result. Okay, and then we have very similar solution. Just the one difference that we see here is that we use the dictionary comprehension to to pack all this syntax into one line, but the idea is the same. So guys, it's like very cool, very cool. Yeah, I really like when you're like trying, even if it would be like, so for example, not a correct solution, it's also nice, because then we can discuss, try to understand some parts. Yeah, and so basically in one of the solutions we saw that there was a set used, and sets is a collection of unique elements, as you can see here. And yeah, so if you want to create a set, you can use again curly braces, but in this case we don't have a key value pair, we just have values themselves. And this is a example. And also in sets there is no order guaranteed, especially in some versions of Python. I don't know how it's like how it's right now, but probably it's better to think that in set the order is not guaranteed. The values inside of the set could be following arbitrary, in the same way as like in the math it is. I mean, like the definition of the set, that it's like unordered collection of elements, right? Here is an example. So we created a set. Then you can type you can get the type of the set, and in the same way we can check that there is something inside of the set or no. There are some methods that you can. So basically I've just like very fastly cover it. You can go over a little bit deeper, just because of the time. And then also there are some operations on the set in the same way as we do in the math. So you can, for example, check that two sets are equal. Basically, it means that they have like the same elements in 1 and in 2. You can get the union by using this operator. You can get the intersection, and you can get the difference. You can check that one set is a subset of another one. And let's just check something from this one. I will create a new file. I'll create a set operations.py. And let's say that we have set two sets. And for example, we have variable features 1. And let's say that our variable features, so this is a variable features that you got in one gene expression data. Let's say that this is a MS4A1, then you have CR1, something like that. And then you get CD3E. And then, for example, ZEP70. So this is a variable features 1, then variable features 2 is let's say that we have again CD3E, then you have ZEP70, and then you have some other genes, for example, XBP1, MZB1. So something like that. And now we want to identify which features are shared. And in this case, you can go over, you can check that we want to find shared. Basically, it means the intersection between features. Let's use it. So print shared features are. And then we want to put here the VFS1 and VFS2. Let's print it. And you got that shared features are ZEP70, because it's like in both sets, and CD3E. Now you can check, for example, I want to identify which features present in VFS1 but not in VFS2. So, for example, specific VFS1 features are. And then we do VFS1 and we just go back. We want to get the set difference. And it's like VFS1 minus VFS2. We run it again, and you got that the specific for VFS1 is the CR1 and MS4A1. Just like try to bring some biology into these statements. I hope that you like it. Basically, here it could be anything. It could be some other strings. For example, you can put hobbies of one person. Let's say that you are like trying to build up the dating app. You want to build up the dating app. You have one person, second person, and there are like something that first person likes and the second person likes. And you want like to, for example, get some metrics about how similar the interests are. And then if the interests are very similar, you're like, okay, probably they will match each other very well. And yeah, so you can use sets again there. Yeah, and we can iterate through the set. Let's check this particular example. So we will iterate through the set, but probably this will show us iterating over set.py. Maybe it will highlight us. Yeah. So you can see in the set. No. Probably it doesn't matter. No, it matters. So yeah, basically, so this is a set that we created. You can see that when we just print it, it shows one order. So it's like BBB, DFS. Okay, maybe not. But the idea is that original order in the list was different. Anyway, so even in this case, we have that the order in the list was ABC, then LLLLL, BBBBB, and DEF. When we converted to the set, we did not preserve the order of the structure, and it was changed. So, and in general, probably it's better to think about it that in lists, in sets, the order could be some way strange, especially depending on Python version. because even from different runs, the order that produced could be different. But in case if you want like to fix the order, but still have in the same way as the set structure that you know that they're like just unique elements, you can do elements, for example, L is sorted list of elements. And then we know that print elements L. So this one will always have particular order, but we know since we converted it to the set first, the elements will be unique. So guys, that's it for today. If you have any questions, feel yourself comfortable to ask them. And in case if you don't have, we will meet each other, I think, in 1 week.